Remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on more awesome content. Hey guys, it's time for this week's Rebels Recap. Episode 3 of Season 3 of Rebels introduced how a familiar hero pilot of the rebellion got recruited to the Rebels in the first place. So, let's recap the Antilles Extraction episode. The episode starts off with a rebel transport providing supplies to the planet of Turloff. They are ambushed by a squad of Imperial forces who mercilessly take down the rebel transport, destroying the entire squad, and when the transport is crippled, fire upon it, destroying it, killing everyone inside. We then go back to the rebel base, where Commander Sato plays a message from Fulcrum, who, much to everyone's disappointment, is not Ahsoka, who is still unknown on her whereabouts. Hera tells Ezra that Ahsoka came up with the idea to give all the informants of the rebels the codename Fulcrum. However, this Fulcrum to me sounds a lot like Agent Kallus, but that is yet to be seen. Anyway, Fulcrum's message states that they're Imperial pilot cadets wanting to defect to the rebellion, who are in desperate need of pilots since the Imperial squads keep decimating their own pilot ranks. So Sabine volunteers to go undercover at the Imperial Pilot Academy and extract the cadets who want to defect. Having been an Imperial cadet already once before, Sabine is obviously the best choice for this mission. Once there, Sabine meets Wedge Antilles, whose name might just sound a little familiar, and they get partnered to run a combat sim together, which they ultimately fail due to the end game being a rebel transport that is defenseless, which both of them refuse to fire on, and they get destroyed by the ghost in the combat sim. After the sim, Sabine and Wedge talk alone, and Wedge talks about how he didn't want to just spend his life hauling cargo around the galaxy, which is what he was doing when the Empire recruited him. Sabine finds out Wedge is actually the one who sent the message to the rebellion that Fulcrum relayed about the pilots defecting. Meanwhile, Agent Kallus and Governor Pryce arrive on station to go find the Imperial cadets who want to defect, and also look for the rebel agent who wants to extract them. Governor Pryce has a plan to let the students fly out and do a combat exercise in which they have nullified weapons on their ties. Sabine and the three defectors, Antilles, Rake, and Hobby, break out from the exercise when Ezra brings the transport out. Governor Pryce disables their ties and instructs the TIE interceptors who are following them to kill Rake and bring the other three back to the station. Governor Pryce then learns that it is Sabine who is the rebel agent and attempts to interrogate her, but after releasing her cuffs and sending the other two out of the room, Sabine breaks free, takes out the guards, and pushes Pryce against the interrogation machine, which she is shocked and stunned and falls to the ground, letting Sabine escape from her cell. She rescues Wedge and Hobby from their cells and runs into Agent Kallus in the hall as they're escaping. Agent Kallus, much to Sabine's surprise, tells them the easiest way to escape and lets them through, and tells Sabine to let Zeb know that they are even from the second season in which Zeb saved Kallus's life. I still think that there's a chance Agent Kallus is Fulcrum, even though the show made it seem like this was a one-time favor. Sabine, Wedge, and Hobby escape in a TIE bomber and are pursued by what we can assume as one of the Academy's top instructors, Scarif. He pursues them, almost destroying them, until the last second when they are rescued by Ezra and Kanan in their transport vehicle. They make it back to the rebel base, and Wedge and Hobby are introduced to Commander Sato, and they begin their new career as rebel pilots. For anyone who cannot place the name of Hobby, why he sounds familiar, you might remember him as the pilot at the start of the Hoth evacuation who fought alongside Luke. Overall, this was a good episode, though it didn't leave too much to speculate on, besides for the Fulcrum identity and the future of Kallus and Scarif in the show. Another side note to it, I also feel like the show, even though it's a good episode, the show needs either multi-block segments in which they do two episodes per plot arc, because these 22-minute episodes feel very short, especially when trying to give someone a backstory, like Wedge Antilles. He deserved a little bit more time, I feel like. So I feel like they either need to do like the Clone Wars did and have overall story arcs that last 2 or 3 episodes long, giving them more time to tell the plot instead of it feeling a little bit rushed as it does when they do these anthology episodes. But overall, it was a great episode, and it was good seeing some familiar faces. Hobby was definitely a surprise. I wish they gave more to speculate on, but that's it for this week's Rebel Recap. I'll see you guys later. Remember to share this video and subscribe for more content.